video from Northeast Trout Flies. Thank you very much for tuning in to watch. As you can see, as soon as the session started I was into action, so I will leave you with this for the time being.
That's a good fish. Water's still warm.
After that initial first fish, things were a little bit quiet on the Doxford Lake, so I decided to move up to the Noose, which is a small lake just around to the left of the Doxford. I decided to go up there with a midge tip line and pull some lures through, see if I could locate any of the fresh fish.
Fresh fish.
This fish fell to a shuggy, which is basically a black and silver humongous, which I'll show you in a moment as I land the fish. Very good pattern this time of year, especially when it's dull or overcast. The silver tends to work better than the gold version. So this is the shuggy, or the black silver humongous. Excellent fly pattern. This was taken on the dropper. On the point I was using a white and green lure, which you'll see very soon. Again, this lake went quiet, so I decided to move back down to the Doxford using the same approach with the midge tip line and the black on the dropper and white on the point. Just a little tip for beginners, especially if you're not used to using lures, always change the retrieve up a little bit. Don't just pull in long strokes or short strokes. Put some figure of eights in, short pulls, pauses, just to change it up and keep the fish interested. And at the end of the retrieve, like I'm doing here, hang the flies. I'm sure we've all seen the situation where the fish has come up right at the end of your retrieve. You've lifted off way too fast and just missed that take. That could cost you a fish in the bag. My next tip is, if you feel like you're not getting any interest and you know that there's fish in front of you, always check your flies when you're fishing long lures. That is marabou tails, because sometimes the tail can actually wrap up and stop it working and moving, which is, as you can see, what's happened here. And as soon as I put this right, you will see the result. After adjusting that fly, you can see here I get a take almost immediately, but in typical me fashion, I miss it because I wasn't concentrating. and this is the white lure that I've been using on the point of this team, along with the black humongous on the dropper. I tie all of the flies I use myself. I find that I'm more than confident with my own flies, and in fly fishing, if you're confident, you will definitely catch fish. So here I'm still fishing the team of the humongous and the white lure with a medium fast figure of 8 in slow strips, and it again does the job. These fish really were fighting on the day, even after only what I'd had, I think by this point I'd had about 4 or 5 fish. My arm was literally dropping off. Again, this fish fell to the black humongous. This was my little friend. I nicknamed him Ronnie Cray, like the gangster. The Docksford Lake went quiet, so I moved back up to the noose. This time I was fishing the bung method. As you can see, the conditions there wasn't as much wind as there was earlier. It was quite on and off. It flattened off the lake, and anybody who does fish the indicator knows that the flat calm conditions are absolutely ideal for this method. Another bonus of fishing the indicator method in these conditions is you can fish precisely. By that I mean that there was a lot of fish in this lake that were sitting along that reed on the left hand side, so I was able to suspend the fly exactly where I wanted it, where the fish were sitting. Next was a move to the Albert and Alice Lake. Again fishing the midge tip with the 2 lures, the humongous and the white lure. I found I could fish more efficiently with this method as the fish were sitting at around about 3 foot depth. So with those weighted flies and the 2 foot intermediate midge tip, it was perfect. Just slowed this portion down so you can see what I meant about the hang. If you can see, I'm pulling the rod across my body at the end of the cast, and I'm going to lift it up. It means the flies are in the water as long as possible and out of the water as short a time as possible, so basically increasing your fishing time. At this point the fish had decided to stop chasing lures. I couldn't get any aggressive response from them, so I switched to the indicator and the fish static and got results almost immediately. This was the best fish of the day. Guesstimated it at around about £7, maybe a little bit more, but I've got such a massive net, a 24-inch net there, and it is way too deep, and I'm actually thinking about getting rid of it, to be honest. So it makes the fish look a little bit dwarfed in there, but believe me, it was a good fish. At this point I'd switch back to the indicator, fishing a size 12 wicked white buzzer. It was quite effective on the day. Experienced anglers out there will also notice that this fish was a little bit more lean than the others because it had been in there a long time, which is the type of fish you can expect to take out of lakes when using natural imitations. As the afternoon progressed, the conditions changed again, so I moved back down to the Doxford Lake, the biggest lake on the complex. As you can see, it's bright and sunny. It was quite brisk, the wind. It doesn't look it on the video, but it was quite brisk, and it was kind of coming into my face, which made it difficult to control the indicator. But I stuck with it. I had two buzzers on, an olive set at 8 foot and a wicked white set at 4 foot, and the fish tended to favour the olive at 8 foot, which was obviously not surprising considering how clear the water was and it was very sunny. Once again, if you can look at this fish here, very lean. It's been in there a long time and it fell to the natural imitation, which is more proof that when you do fish the more imitative patterns, you do pick out the more wary fish. because the fish had become more spooky, I decided to go lighter with my leader, so I changed to some of the Seagull 6.6, which has got a very, very low diameter. Excellent line for what you would call stealth fishing. But I changed over and it did the job, which just shows sometimes you do have to put some effort in to get a fish on the bank. Well, another cracking fish there. It wasn't a particularly easy day. Not everybody was catching a lot of fish, so I did quite well on the day, and I was quite happy with the methods that I used, and it just shows chopping and changing things can really put some fish in the net. Now, if you would like some of the flies that I've been using on this session, all the flies that I was catching on, I am offering a free giveaway. All you need to do is like the video, subscribe if you could, that would be lovely, and leave a comment, and I'll do a draw based on who's commented, and then we'll get the flies shipped off to you absolutely free of charge, and hopefully catch lots of fish on them. Thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and until the next time, thank you very much. Bye.